Okay, for this demo, I'm going to go over all the color options and color panels, mixers, pickers, harmony, editing, modes, you name it. I'm going to go over it in this tutorial or demo. So I picked a Illustrator file from Adobe stock that had a lot of colors in it, so I could show you global colors as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the entire image. It is grouped, so you can see that there are a lot of things selected here. What I want to do first is I'm just going to select the background, and I'm going to go over to the properties panel, and if you don't have it on the right side or of your toolbar, you can go down to Windows and pick it from the properties panel right here. So we're going to go to the fill choice right here, fill panel, and I wanted to first show you the color picker, and it will show you the CMYK colors that it is right now. You can either put a number in here for the percentage, you can change these numbers. You can put in a hex code number, which you will learn about, or if you don't know already, there's also a hex code that you can use. You can use the slider here to change the color, and you can also use the color picker down here at the bottom to pick a beautiful color. If you want to keep this color from this color mixer mode, you can click on the Swatches panel and go down to Add Color. And you can name it orange background. And it will add it to your color or your swatches panel. And this has a little check mark here for global color, so that means whatever color also has this, whatever object or shape has this color as well in your illustration, will change that color as well, and I will show you more of that in a few minutes. So I'm going to press OK, and it added it to the swatches panel. Now, you can also go to the gradient panel here. This you will not use for a very long time, that is patterns. You can also pick another color here if you would like, and then add it to the color palette. So let's just say I pick that one, and I want to go up, I can go up here and add a new swatch, or I can go down here and add it with this one, and let's just call it pink background, and there it is. It's right here. It put it up with the other pinks. I can pull it, I can pick it and pull it down to where I wanted to put it with the other orange one if I like, and I can also group it, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. And there's also the library here, which we will get into next. So I'm going to click off of there, and the next thing I want to do is close this panel, and I want to go to the swatches panel, which is this one right here, and again you can go up to Windows and down to swatches to get to it if you want to pull it out that way, and since it's on my toolbar right here, it just opened it up. So there's a few things I want to show you here. One was how to add colors, and I want to go back and take this color out because I really don't like those colors. I want to go back to where I was, and I want to add this color palette to my swatches panel. So what I can do is I can go over here and select the entire illustration, and I can then add all of these colors at one time to my palette by going to the little hamburger menu here and selecting add selected colors, right here, and it will add all of them to my color palette. And as you can see, they all have this global little square or little triangle in the bottom. And before I show you that, I'm going to show you how to group these. So I'm going to click off the illustration, I am going to click onto the first color and then shift click onto the last color. And I am going to go down here and I can click New Swatches Group, or I can come up to the Swatches panel and add New Swatch Group. And I can name it. I just want to name it Mushroom Palette. I can't spell today. Palette. And there, it put it into a group. Generally speaking, you can not have this color palette in another file. So generally speaking, whatever color palette you create for a document will stay in that document only, and it will not be there when you go to another document or make a new one. However, you can add it to the library, which is down here, and I said I'd talk about it in a minute. So you can click on this while you have this selected and go to Save Swatches. And what you can do is say Save Swatches. It'll open up the Swatches panel within your Adobe, I want to say Adobe, let me just click on this and I'll show you. Your Adobe support, Adobe files, your Illustrator files, it just puts it into the Swatches panel of the general swatches that are already saved within Adobe Illustrator. So I already created it here, Mushroom Palette, so I'm going to cancel out of there, but you would put in whatever name you wanted, and there it would be. And what you can do is, say you're in another document, you can go to your library, and down here you could say Use Defined Palette, and you could click on that once you go into a new document, and you can use that palette again. That is one way to get around that problem of only having the swatches in one document. The other thing I wanted to show you was the global color information. And the way that I can show you that is I'm just going to click on one of the illustrated shapes, and because this is a grouped illustration, I'm going to double click on it to actually get to the shape. And now I'm in the group of that mushroom, and now I'm in the group, the individual shape of that mushroom. So it's layer, group, path. So now I have that one shape selected, and as you can see over here in the swatches panel, it has the particular color. So let's just say I double click on that to get to the swatch options, and I can change that color. Let's just say I want to change it to a really nice cool turquoise color, and as you can see in the document, it is changing all of the mushrooms that it had assigned that color to. So that's how global color works. It'll change every color of the objects that you have created that color for. So I'm going to hit cancel because I don't want to change it to turquoise, and double click on the artboard to get out of that. The next thing I wanted to show you is the color picker. And the color picker, if I remember the name of it right, okay, is over here. So you have the swatches panel, you have the color picker, you have also the color editor and color mixer. So for the color picker, you can see that it has all the hues here on this panel right here, and then it shows you the saturation of the color here. It's got this much saturation, and that's to the left, and to the to the right, and to the left is the tones and shades value, as we were talking about previously in the color theory presentation that I did in class. So up here we have all white, down here we have black, and in the middle we have gray. So these are your values, shades, and tones. So you can change it this way as well. You would have to, of course, click on one of the shapes. You could also change the CMYK here. You if you found a color that was RGB, you could put the RGB colors in here. You could put the hex code number in here. You could put the HSB color in here. You could do a lot of things with this. And then you can also click on the color swatches, and this has even more colors that you can choose from. You can search for a color by number. You have a lot of options, too many options sometimes, but it does come in handy when you are really working at a high level of coloring your illustrations. The next thing I wanted to show you was the color harmony, which we talked about color harmony in the color theory presentation. And if you want to find a color harmony to change this illustration to, you could click on a color here and then click on color harmony or color guide, sorry, here, or you can go up to the Windows panel and click on color guide as well. And it'll come up with a color, and let's see if I can get it to pick the color I want. There. Okay, so I clicked on the illustration box, the background that I wanted to change the color of or get a color from, and then clicked on this box here, the base color. And here it will give you a whole line of information of different colors that you can choose from. And it goes from shade to tint, as you can see, white to black. And you can also click on this color harmony rules and decide if you want a complementary, if you want a split complementary, an analogous, a monochromatic, a triad, a high contrast. There's so many options you have here. And if you decide you do not like any of those, you can go over here and click on another color and then click on this little box here and it'll change it and give you all the options here of the shades and tints. And you can go again and click on the harmony rule and decide if you want to change it to a color complementary, a analogous, a monochromatic. I'm just going to click on, let's see, split complementary. And then if I like this split complementary, I can then go down and add it to my color swatches. If I click on this, it will add it to my swatches. So I'm going to just go over here and click on the swatches, and there it is. There is the color swatches that we just added. So there are a lot of ways for you to change the colors and use the color palettes, color mixers, color harmony, color editing, color mixers, CMYK, and RGB. All different types of ways to go about changing the colors and creating colors in Illustrator. I am looking forward to seeing what you create with your color harmony rules.